Hello everyone, my name is Prashesh Kumar. Today I am going to teach you agreement of the verb with the subject. My dear students, many of us usually commit mistakes in using verbs with the subjects. Why? Because we do not know the complications which are very much there. Normal rules we are aware of, but there are some specific rules which we do not know. And we use verbs with the subjects according to the normal rules. And when we do that, we commit mistakes. Therefore, it is very necessary for us to know about the subject verb agreement. But before I jump to the rules, I'd like to tell you about the definition of subject verb agreement. What does it refer to exactly? Subject verb agreement refers to the relationship between the subject and the verb of the sentence. This is the simplest definition that you need to know. What does it refer to? It refers to the relationship. And what kind of relationship? That is very much there between the subject and the verb of any sentence. Usually a sentence is the sum total of a subject and a predicate. And predicate part starts with the word that you know very well, right? So what kind of agreement should be there? What kind of relationship should be there? If the subject is singular, then the verb should be singular. This is the relationship. You cannot have a plural verb with a singular subject or a singular verb with plural subject, right? So you need to apply a singular subject with singular verb and a plural subject with plural verb. And how do you come to know which particular subject is singular or which particular subject is plural? Sometimes you would find lots of problems in finding out about the plurality or singularity of the subjects. And for this, we need to know about some of the rules which would help us a lot in understanding this plurality or singularity of the subjects. So let us have a look on the rules which are very much important. So rule number first is here. If two or more singular nouns or pronouns are joined by and, a plural verb is required in such sentences. So what does that mean? अगर आपको and से जुड़ा हुआ दो नाउन या प्रोनाउन मिल रहा है, ऐसी दशा में आप हमेशा प्लूरल का इस्तेमाल करेंगे. Again, I'm going to tell you what does this rule say to us, that if you have two singular nouns or two singular pronouns and both of them they are conjoined with and, that is a connecting word, that is a kind of conjunction, right? If you find them being connected with and, in that case you apply a plural verb with the subjects, right? And here are some examples. Gold and silver, right? It is very much here, you can see it. Gold and silver. Here, you see, there are two subjects. One is gold, another is silver. And that's why here we have used are, not each. And in the next statement, you would find, are you father and mother at home? Here you find that both are separate persons, mother and father. There are two individuals, and that's why we have used are, not age. He and I were playing. Here again you find that there are two subjects, one is he and another is I, and both of them they are connected with and that's why we have used here were, not was. This is the simple rule. I think many of us are aware of this rule. But what happens when you would find that two subjects are joined with and referring to the singular or same idea or same person? In that case, what do? Then you are not supposed to apply a plural verb with this subject, right? Why? Let us first see some of the examples. Right. Here we have one example, time in tide. Waits for none. You see here waits. If you add yes or es with the first form of the with the first form of the verb, then it becomes a singular. And here you are getting time in tide. There are two subjects, and here that means it must be plural. And according to that, weights should be weight, not weights. But why we have used here weights? Because of the reason that both time and tide usually are taken as one, not separate things, right? And that's why here we have used weights. Again, the horse and carriage is at the door. Here you see that the horse and the carriage both are taken as one, right? And that's why you would find here that is used, not exactly are is used. Why? Because the horse and the carriage both almost signify or refers to the same idea, not the different ideas, right? And bread and butter, again, the same thing, bread and butter taken together. That's why we have used here is not are, honor and glory is not are. And here one thing you must not forget, that it is up to you to decide whether you are taking the things together or you are taking the things separately, right? Sometimes many of us do have arguments here that time and tide both are different things, horse and carriage both are different things, butter and bread, both are different. If you think that butter and bread both are different things, fine, then they must be taken differently. When you put butter on bread, then it becomes one, and in that case it is known as a singular thing, a single thing, I mean, and that's why is used. If you think that butter is eaten separately and bread is eaten separately, in that case you can use are. So it is up to you to decide, right? There is no very hard and fast rule, but there are some certain phrases, kind of time and tide usually used together, horse and carriage used together. So many times there are some certain kind of phrases, there are some certain words which are always used together, and in that case you have to apply singular verb with the plural subject, whether the subjects are joined with and, right, or with some other kind of conjunctions like and. So the next one, when two nouns are joined by and precede with article the verb should be plural. Here you must not forget one thing, that if that the article, when it is it is preceded by both the nouns, in that case both the nouns signify two different persons, right? For example, if you say the novelist and poet, that means novelist and poet both are the single person, right? I mean, they are not two, right? Novelist or poet, dono ek hi hai, they are not different, right? But when you say the novelist and the poet, that means they are two persons. So you must not forget that if you say the novelist and the poet, that means if both the nouns are preceded by the article, in that case you have to apply are, or you have to apply plural verb. If they are not preceded by article the, one is preceded by article the, another is not, in that case both nouns, they are referring to the same person, and in that case you have to apply only singular verb with these two subjects, right? Clearly, apparently, visible two subjects, but they are referring to one. Again, you see here, the manager and the principal. Same rule will be applicable here. If you say the manager and the principal, that means manager is different from the principal, and that's why we have applied here or. Had it been like this, the manager and principal, in that case दोनों एक ही होते, the manager and principal, it means both are the same person, both nouns are referring to the same person, then in that case we would have applied here is not are. But as both are different, the manager and the principal, because both are preceded by the article the, so we have to apply article we have to apply a plural verb, that is are here, right? So you must not forget these rules. These are very important, because normal rule is this, that when you find two nouns or pronoun joined with and, then you have to apply plural verb. But at times, as I told you, that when you find two nouns joined with and, but you have to see the conditions also, whether they are referring to the same person or referring to the separate persons or different persons. So you have to use verbs accordingly. Then the next rule, words joined to a singular subject by with, together with, as well as, in addition to, and not like, etc. are parenthetical. The verb should therefore be put in the singular. Here, my dear students, here, what does this rule say to us? That if two subjects are joined with two, two subjects are joined with, together with, as well as, in addition to, and not like, etc., then in that case you need not to apply a plural verb with with that subject. Why? Because the nouns which come with these, phrases, right, conjoining phrases, they exactly are not the direct part of the subject. They are just, they come with the subject, but they are not the direct parts of the subjects. And that's why you see, you have to apply the verb according to you have to apply the verb according to the, subject that, that is original one, and that comes before these phrases usually. Right? Let us see some examples. The house with its contents was insured. Here you see, with its contents. This is not the direct subject of the sentence. What is the direct subject of the sentence? The house. And according to the house, here was insured. Right? Was has been used. You need not to use were here. You need not to think that with its contents, this particular phrase is also the direct part of the subject. It is exactly not the direct part of the subject, right? So the direct subject is only the house. Similarly, in the next statement, you see the mayor is to be present together with his counselors, right? This particular phrase, together with his counselors, is just a kind of, supplementary supplementation, you can say. It is added here, but it is related to the subject, but it is not the subject. That I told you many times, right? So the mayor is the subject, right? Together with his counselors is not the subject, so you have to apply the verb according to the mayor, right? And the mayor is singular, so the verb would be singular. The mayor is to be present. Similarly, in the next statement, you see there the ship, right, with its crew. Crew, that's a group of people, a group of sailors. But that exactly is not the part of the, subject, direct part of the subject. That's why, you see the ship is the subject, and according to the ship, you can see here that the was has been used here, not were has been used. Similarly, here you would find silver as well as cotton has fallen in price. Sanskrit as well as Arabic was taught there. Ram and not his friends was present there. The house with all its belonging was sold. The pigeon, like other birds, has, in all these sentences you would find that the verb has been used according to the direct subject. And what's that direct subject? That comes before, these phrases, with, together with, as well as, in addition to, and not like. I mean, the nouns which are exactly added with these phrases, they are not the direct parts of the subject, right? So you need not to apply according to them the verbs of the subjects, right? So you have to see the real subject, and then you have to use the verb accordingly. Then the next one, if two or more similar subjects are connected by or, either, or, neither, nor, not only but also. Exactly, it is wrong. It should be not also, but it should be but also, right? Okay, fine. See, if two similar subjects here, it is written, if two similar subjects are connected by or, either, or, neither, nor, not only but also, right? Then in that case, how do you use the verb, right? See, if there are two nouns or pronouns, and both are joined with or, either, or, neither, nor, not only but also. In that case, you have to apply the subjects. You have to apply the verb according to the nearest subject, right? Verbs according to the nearest subject. Again, I am telling you, if you are having two subjects, either singular or plural. I have written here singular subjects, but it can be plural also. If there are two singular or plural subjects, right, then in that case you have to apply verbs according to the nearest subjects of the word, right? Let us see some of the examples here. Our happiness or our sorrow is largely due to our own actions. See here, our sorrow is the nearest, subject of the verb. Verb is each. You see, verb is what? Verb is each. Right? And our sorrow is the nearest to each. So you have to apply the verb according to the nearest subject of the verb. And here nearest subject of the verb is our sorrow. And that's why each has been used, not, are or any other verbs, have been used here. So you must not forget this thing, that you have to use whether both the subjects are singular or plural, right? What is very important for you to understand, to notice, is to find out the nearest subject of the word, and you have to apply verb according to the nearest subjects of the word. See here, either the cat or the dog, then the nearest subject is dog, and you have to apply has been according to dog. Neither food nor water, right? Then you have to apply was according to water. Neither praise nor blame, then you have to apply seems according to blame. Neither the chairman nor the directors, then again you see it is very important here. And why? Because the nearest subject here is a plural subjects, directors, and that's why are has been used here, right? And this is what I told you earlier, that you have to apply the verb according to the nearest subjects of the verb. And then either he or I am mistaken. Again, you would see am. Why? Because I is the nearest subject here. So according to I, am has been used. Either you or he is. According to he, is this is has been used here. Neither you nor he is, again it has been used here according to he, not according to you, not according to you here, right? So you can well see that how you have to use a verb according to the subject when there are two subjects and both are joined with or, either or, neither nor, not only but also. These are very important rules, and you must not forget, because these have been asked in so many competitive exams, in your BA exams, and I think in all kinds of I think exams, these kinds of sentences are asked in common errors. So let us see the next rule. Here I have written some more examples. Neither my friend nor I am to blame. Here, according to I, you see am, not only the principal but the teachers. According to teachers, were has been used because teachers is the nearest subject, not only the students but also the class teacher. And here you see class teacher, and that's why was has been used. Otherwise, you need not to think that students is also the subjects. Here it is subject, but you have to use the verb according to the nearest subject if these subjects are joined with these particular, as I told you, connectors. Then the next rule is this, that if either of, neither of, each of, each one, no one, someone, everyone, many, everybody, nobody, somebody, must be, if you find these kind of words, right, then you have to use only the singular word. Why? Because either of, if it is written either of means the next word that is to come after either of, you know, is to be in plural. But you have to select one, either of the boys, neither of the boys, either of the students. What does that mean? Either of means ek, neither of means koi nahi. In that case, what does, what would be the meaning? That that these words are just referring to a single person, right? Kind of either of the boys, लड़कों में से कोई, either of the boys, neither of the boys, लड़कों में से कोई नहीं. That means these kind of words, they are referring to the single person, they are not referring to the many persons, they are not making plural subjects. And that's why when you find these kind of subjects, right, either of, neither of plus verb, either of, neither of, each of, each one, no one, plus plus nouns, then in that case you have to apply only the singular word. Let us see some of the examples. He asked me whether either of the applicants was suitable. Here you see either of the applicants. See here applicants, what? Applicants, there are many applicants, but here either means koi. Un applicants में से koi. Not all the applicants he's talking about. He's talking about a single person, either koi, right? Indefinite. कोई भी उन applicants में से. अब जब कोई भी हो रहा है, that means single person. And single person means you have to apply singular verb, and that is was, not were. Never think that you have to apply verb according to applicants, because here either of is the original subject, not the applicants. Applicants is just the supplementary word. इसमें से एक निकालना है. Applicants बहुत सारे हैं, but either means कोई एक, right? And when we are talking about कोई एक, then you have to apply singular verb, right? Neither of the two men. Here you would find there are two men. but neither of उसमें से कोई नहीं was very strong, right? And that's why it has been written was. Although here it is men, but you need not to apply was according to men, but you have to apply, you know, was according to neither of, right? So either of, neither of, I told you, then each of these substances again is found in India. Here you need not to apply each according to substances, but each of. Then every one of the prisons is full. Then every one of the boys loves to ride. Here you would find loves according to everyone. Many a man has done so. My dear students, here many a man. Many times you find that many, if there is only single term many, then you have to apply plural verb. Many boys have. But when you find many a man, many a boys, something like that, if you would find, then what would happen? In that case, you have to apply, singular verb. With many a, you have to apply singular verb, not plural verb. With many, you have to apply, plural verb. So many a man has. Again, many a man does not know, not do not know. See, many a man has succumbed to this temptation. Again, not have succumbed to. Someone is there in the hall, and someone, as I told you that it is an indefinite pronoun, so it also carries singular verb. So you must not forget these terms, right? These are very important for you. Either of, neither of, each of, each one, no one, someone, everyone, many, everybody, nobody, and somebody. If you find these kind of words, then you have to apply only the singular verb, not the plural. And then two nouns qualified by each or every, even though connected by and, require a singular verb. Sometimes you'd find that each and every and every, you'd find such kind of, conjoining words, you would find in a statement. Then in that case also you have to apply singular verb. See, we have one example, every boy and every girl. That means single, right? So you have to apply was, not were. When you, again the rule is here, two nouns qualified by each or every, right? Sometimes each and every, sometimes every, sometimes each is. And when you find such kind of things connected with and, right, following with any noun, then in that case you have to apply singular verb. Next rule that is very important for you, a collective noun takes a singular verb when the collection is thought of as one whole, plural, when the individuals of which it is composed of are it is composed or thought of as, as we have some examples here. So putting simply, this particular rule is this, that when you find a collective noun, right, and that collective noun is taken as a whole, then you have to apply singular verb. But when you find a collective noun, but you find that there is there are some differences, right, and you are unable to put them together as a whole, right, then you have to apply, plural verb. Let us see the committee. I mean, let us see this example, then it would become more clear. The committee has issued its reports. What does that mean here? Committee, I mean the members of the committee, they are very much unanimous. They are very much agree on this report. They don't have any kind of difference of opinion, right? They all are agreeing on this particular topic, right? On this particular report. And that's why this word committee is taken as a collective noun, right? And it has a singular subject, because in that case committee signifies a single, singular noun, right, or refers to a singular noun, right? But when the members of the committee, they are not agreeing on on one point, they have some differences of opinions, right, then in that case they have different opinions. In that case committee, the word committee refers to a plural noun, right? And here the committee are divided on one minor point. That's why you would see that on one minor point here, on this particular point, the committee are divided. I mean the people who are composed of, right, who are there in that, I mean committee, they are not kind of they do not agree on that topic, on that minor point, and that's why they have different opinions. And when they have different opinions, in that case, the committee, this word refers to to what refers to what this the word committee refers to a plural noun, right? And that's why a plural verb should be used, and that is are here. And after this, next rule is some nouns which seem plural in form but singular in meaning take a singular verb, right? See, there are some certain nouns which, from outside, when you read them, when you think about them, they seem to be plural, but exactly they are not. And those you need to kind of remember. There is no fixed rule, but you have to remember. You have to apply your mind, right? Sometimes when you apply your mind, you'll find that they are single. Sometimes they are kind of pronounced exactly as plural. But when you think deeply, you would find that they are not in a plural, they are singular. For example, news, politics, wages. When you try to think, you would find that these words are singular, although written as plural. And here we have examples. The news is true. Then you cannot say that the news are true. Why? Because the news, this term refers to a singular noun. Again, politics was with him the business of his life. Here again, politics refers to the singular, although it ends with yes, she, yes, but it refers to a single area, right? Politics, Rajniti, The wages of sin is death. Here, wages refers to the singular noun, and that's why here again it is used. Mathematics again, although ends with cs, but it also refers to a singular subject, right? Singular noun and singular subject, right? So it again, here you would find that is used, is as a verb is used because mathematics is supposed to be a singular subject. The Arabian Nights is a book, although written with yes in the last of the nights, right? But it refers to a single book. So you here in these kind of cases, you have to apply your mind whether whether the noun that is being referred there is exactly one or more than one. When you think, then you would come to know, as usual. See, when you think about the Arabian Nights, you would come to know that Arabian Nights, although ends with yes, but it is a single book. So you can well find that you have to apply each according to this singular, noun. So you must not forget these rules. Next one. When a plural noun denotes some specific quantity or amount considered as a whole, the verb is generally singular. Here again the same thing which I told you. Then you have to apply your mind. When kind of a certain quantity, a specific quantity or amount is referred and taken as a whole, taken as a single sum, all right, single unit, then in that case you have to apply only a singular word. For example, 15 minutes is allowed to each speaker. Here 15 minutes, all these 15 minutes are not taken differently, they are taken as a whole, right? 15 minutes मतलब एक ही बार में 15 minutes लिया गया, एक करके ऐसे नहीं लिया गया. And when 15 minutes is taken as a whole, then you have to apply singular verb, and that is here, right? Here you would find that is used here. 10 kilometers is a long walk. Again 10 kilometers मैंने बताया कि कैसे 10 kilometers को एक यूनिट की तरह माना गया कि 10 किलोमीटर एक लंबी वॉक होती है. सो हेयर इज हैज बीन यूज्ड. ऐसा नहीं कि एक एक किलोमीटर करके हम नहीं इसे देख रहे हैं, हम इसे देख रहे हैं कि 10 किलोमीटर जो एक लेंथ है, टोटल लेंथ को एक ही यूनिट के रूप में हम देख रहे हैं. अगेन 50,000 रुपीज इज अ लार्ज सम. यहाँ पे 50,000 रुपीज जो है वो उसको एक साथ में हम देख रहे हैं. हियर वी आर considering this amount of 50,000 as a whole, right? Three parts of the business is left for me to do. Again, here three parts, as I told you, that is taken as a whole. The United States has a big navy. Again, United States taken as a whole. अलग अलग नहीं, उसके स्टेट्स को देखा जा रहा है, एक साथ देखा जा रहा है. Plutarch's Lives, again it's the name of the book, as usual I told you. The Arabian Nights, similarly here Plutarch's Lives, ये एक किताब का नाम है और इसीलिए यहाँ पे लिखा है is not R. Gulliver's Travels, again it's name of a book, and that's why it is written here was, not were. So you must not forget when you would find a specific quantity or a specific amount and which are taken as a whole, right? जिसे एक यूनिट माना जा रहा है, एक साथ रखा जा रहा है, उसको अलग नहीं किया जा रहा है, उसको बिखराया नहीं जा रहा है. In that case उसके साथ जो verb होगी वो singular. Next, when the subject of a verb is a relative pronoun or relative adverb, care should be taken to see that the verb agrees in number and person with the antecedent of the relative. My dear students, before I tell you about this rule, you need to know what an antecedent is, right? Antecedent क्या होता है ये आपको बहुत ज़्यादा जानने की ज़रूरत है. Sometimes it happens that two, clauses are joined, right? When two clauses are joined with relative adverb or relative pronoun. What are relative pronouns? See, that, which, and who का तीनों form. Who, whose, whom. These are, relative pronouns. And relative adverbs क्या है? When, where, and various forms of these terms. अगर when you would find these words, then you have to look before that word. जहाँ पे ये वर्ड जहाँ से ये वर्ड शुरू होते हैं उससे पहले के वर्ड को आपको देखना पड़ेगा. जैसे यहाँ पे आप देखेंगे ये दैट है. दिस इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इंटरेस्टिंग नॉवेल्स दैट. अब यहाँ पे आपको देखना है कि दैट. अब दैट क्या है? दैट जो है ये एक रिलेटिव प्रोनाउन है और इससे पहले एंटीसीडेंट क्या है? जो इससे जस्ट पहले आता है वो इसका एंटीसीडेंट होता है. ठीक है. अब यहाँ पे एंटीसीडेंट क्या है? नॉवेल्स. अब यहाँ पे जो महत्वपूर्ण बात यह है कि जो क्लास आ रहा है, जो डिपेंडेंट क्लास है, जो उस रिलेटिव प्रोनाउन या रिलेटिव एडवर्ब से स्टार्ट हो रहा है, आई मीन द क्लास दैट इज स्टार्टेड विद दैट रिलेटिव एडवर्ब और रिलेटिव प्रोनाउन, राइट, दैट should have verb according to the antecedent, right? उसमें verb जो होगी वो antecedent के according होगी, right? जिसमें जो दूसरा वाला क्लास आ रहा है, जो रिलेटिव प्रोनाउन और रिलेटिव एडवर्ब से शुरू होने वाला क्लास है, उसकी जो वर्ब जैसे यहाँ पे हैव एंड हियर हैव अकॉर्डिंग टू नॉवेल्स, ये दैट के अकॉर्डिंग भी नहीं है और वन ऑफ द मोस्ट के अकॉर्डिंग भी नहीं है. जो इसका एंटीसीडेंट है वो है नॉवेल और नॉवेल के अकॉर्डिंग है, इसलिए हैज यहाँ नहीं हो सकता. So ये रूल बहुत ही ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. वी हैव सम अदर एग्जांपल्स हियर. हे इज वन ऑफ द क्लेवरेस्ट बॉयज. अब यहाँ पे आप ध्यान से देखिए, क्लेवरेस्ट बॉयज, बॉयज इज द एंटीसीडेंट, राइट? ये एंटीसीडेंट है, इसको पूर्ववर्ती भी बोलते हैं हिंदी में. तो ये एंटीसीडेंट है एंड देन यू हैव टू अप्लाई द वर्ब ऑफ द नेक्स्ट क्लास दैट इज डिपेंडेंट क्लास. ये जो क्लास है यहाँ जो दैट से शुरू हो रहा है, जो आपका यहाँ से शुरू होकर यहाँ खत्म हो रहा है, दैट इज ऑल्सो नोन एज एडजेक्टिव क्लास. तो ये जो एडजेक्टिव क्लास है, राइट, या डिपेंडेंट क्लास है, ये जो दैट से शुरू हो रहा है, इसका जो वर्ब होगा, वर्ब ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर क्लास, डिपेंडेंट क्लास, वुड बी अकॉर्डिंग टू द एंटीसीडेंट. जो एंटीसीडेंट है उसके अकॉर्डिंग हुई एंड दैट्स व्हाई अकॉर्डिंग टू बॉयज हियर हैव हैज बीन यूज्ड. यहाँ पे हैव का प्रयोग हुआ है. ठीक है. वन ऑफ द ग्रेटेस्ट जजेस दैट हैव, अगेन यू सी अकॉर्डिंग टू जजेस हैव. It is one of the best speeches. According to speeches, have again has been used. So you must not forget that in these kind of sentences, you have to first find out the antecedent, and then you have to find out the dependent class that starts, as I told you, with either relative pronoun or relative adverb, और उससे जो शुरू होता है उसके बाद जो आपका verb लगेगा according to the antecedent, right? वो antecedent के अनुसार ही होगा. Next, in sentences beginning with there is or there are, the subject follows the verb since there. See, it's not the subject, the verb agrees with what follows the verb. It's very simple rule. You see what happens at times when you don't have any kind of subject in any of the statements, then you start the sentence with there, right? तो ऐसे सेंटेंस को हम यूजुअली there से शुरू करते हैं और जब there से कोई भी सेंटेंस शुरू होता है तो वहां पे हमें ये ध्यान रखना है कि there से शुरू होने वाले सेंटेंस जो है उसका जो सब्जेक्ट होता है that comes after the verb. वहां पे वर्ब के बाद उसका सब्जेक्ट आता है. जैसे इज है तो इसके बाद यहाँ पे सब्जेक्ट क्या है? एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सपोर्ट. आप यहाँ पे आपको ये नहीं भूलना चाहिए, देयर इज लिटिल एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सपोर्ट. अब सब्जेक्ट ये नहीं है, देयर इज नॉट अ सब्जेक्ट, एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सपोर्ट इज द सब्जेक्ट और अकॉर्डिंग टू एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सपोर्ट यहाँ पे इज लगा है. और सिमिलरली हियर यू फाइंड आर और ये लगा है मेनी फैक्टर्स के अकॉर्डिंग. क्यों? क्योंकि देयर सब्जेक्ट नहीं होता है, देयर से सिर्फ सेंटेंस स्टार्ट करते हैं व्हेन वी डोंट हैव एनी प्रॉपर सब्जेक्ट टू स्टार्ट विद. और वैसे कंडीशन में जब हमारे पास कोई सब्जेक्ट नहीं है टू स्टार्ट विद करने के लिए, तो ऐसी स्थिति में हम जो हमारे पास सब्जेक्ट होता है वो बाद में आता है आफ्टर द वर्ब. सो यू मस्ट नॉट फॉरगेट कि ऐसे सेंटेंसेस में जो देयर से शुरू होते हैं वो जो वर्ब के बाद आने वाले जो वर्ड्स होते हैं वो उसके सब्जेक्ट होते हैं और उसके अनुसार ही वर्ब को लगाया जाता है. नेक्स्ट, दिस ऑल्सो इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू फॉर द कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स. एंड यू सी हियर इन अ कंडीशनल सेंटेंस व्हेन इम्पॉसिबल पॉसिबिलिटी, यू मस्ट नॉट फॉरगेट. सी, इम्पॉसिबल पॉसिबिलिटी मतलब जब सेंटेंस में आपको इम्पॉसिबल पॉसिबिलिटी दिखाई गई हो, ठीक है, पाई जाती है, तो ऐसी स्थिति में क्या होता है? विद द सिंगुलर सब्जेक्ट यू नीड टू अप्लाई प्लूरल वर्ब, राइट? अगेन मैं बता दूं, जहां पे इम्पॉसिबल पॉसिबिलिटी हो, ऐसी पॉसिबिलिटी जिसकी संभावना नहीं है, या इसको हम समटाइम्स बी पीपल कॉल इट एज इमेजिनरी सेंटेंसेस, काल्पनिक वाक्य बोलते हैं जो कल्पनाओं में होते हैं, दैट कैन नेवर बी रियलाइज्ड, राइट। सो ऐसी स्थिति में क्या करते हैं हम कि वी हैव टू अप्लाई प्लूरल वर्ब विद प्लूरल सब्जेक्ट एज वेल एज सिंगुलर सब्जेक्ट, राइट। वो चाहे प्लूरल हो, सिंगुलर हो, कुछ भी हो, सबके साथ हम प्लूरल का ही इस्तेमाल करते हैं। एंड हियर वी हैव सम एग्जांपल। सी, आई विश, आई वर अ बर्ड। अब यहाँ पे देखिए, आई वर अ बर्ड, इट शुड बी आई वाज नॉर्मली, बट इट इज रिटन हियर आई वर। क्यों? क्योंकि यहाँ पे आई वर इसलिए लिखा गया है क्योंकि काश में चिड़िया होता। अब ये इम्पॉसिबल पॉसिबिलिटी है, दैट आई टोल्ड यू। सी, ये इम्पॉसिबल पॉसिबिलिटी है, दैट कैन नेवर बी फुलफिल्ड, ये कभी नहीं पूरी हो सकती है। तो इसीलिए here were has been used with I, right। और एक और बहुत महत्वपूर्ण बात है, when you find such statements the meaning is always in present not in past। जैसे लिखा है I wish I were a bird, इसका मतलब ये नहीं होता कि काश में चिड़िया होता, काश में चिड़िया हो, राइट, अभी वर्तमान में। आई विश आई वर द प्राइम मिनिस्टर, काश में प्राइम मिनिस्टर होता वर्तमान में, राइट, नॉट इन द पास्ट। यू ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड। सो हियर टू थिंग्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, पहले तो प्रेजेंट की बात करता है, और दूसरे विद सिंगुलर सब्जेक्ट्स ऑल्सो यू हैव टू अप्लाई प्लूरल वर्ब, एंड हियर वर्ब हैज बीन यूज्ड विद आई, राइट। यहाँ पे आई विश के बाद आई वर्ब का इस्तेमाल किया गया है। सी ऑर्डर्स में एजिफ, एजिफ मतलब मान लो, राइट, और है नहीं, मान लो, जैसे होता है ना कि माना संख्या का है, माना संख्या ए है, सो मान लो, राइट। सी ऑर्डर्स मी एजिफ सी वर माई मदर। अब यहाँ पे देखिए, सी वर माई मदर, सी एग्जैक्टली इज नॉट माई मदर, लेकिन वो मुझे ऑर्डर इस तरह से देती है मानो वो मेरी माँ हो। अगेन आई एम टेलिंग, इम्पॉसिबल पॉसिबिलिटी, वो मेरी माँ नहीं है, ना कि हो सकती भी नहीं है, लेकिन इसके बावजूद भी मुझे ऑर्डर देती है जैसे कि मेरी माँ हो। और जब ये इम्पॉसिबल पॉसिबिलिटी है, इन दैट केस वी हैव टू अप्लाई हियर वर विद सी। वो मुझे ऑर्डर देती है मानो कि वो मेरी माँ हो। प्रेजेंट में अर्थ निकल रहा है जो मैंने पहले ही बता दिया, ठीक है। इफ सी वर एन ईगल, अगर वो एक ईगल होता, सी वुड फ्लाई टू मी, तो वो मेरे पास आ जाता। अब यहाँ पे अगेन आपको देखना है, वो ईगल नहीं है, ठीक है ना, वो ईगल हो सकता है, ये टोटली इम्पॉसिबल पॉसिबिलिटी है, ठीक है, ये संभव नहीं है होना, और इसीलिए यहाँ पे वर का इस्तेमाल किया गया है। वर हैज बीन यूज्ड हियर विद सी, राइट। अदरवाइज ये होता इफ सी इज और इफ सी वाज, ऐसा तो होता नहीं कि इफ सी वर, सी वर, because of the reason that there is impossible possibility here. So these sentences you must have in your mind, so that when you come across those questions in the competitive exams, you correct them well. Next rule is here, when article the is added with some singular nouns, right। जब किसी सिंगुलर नाउन के साथ आर्टिकल लगा होता है, जैसे पुअर, रिच, यंग, ओल्ड, डिसेबल्ड, और बिफोर अ लैंग्वेज, या किसी लैंग्वेज के साथ, तो वैसी कंडीशन में क्या होती है, दे बिकम प्लूरल, दे डू नॉट रिमेन सिंगुलर, वो सिंगुलर नहीं रह जाते, दे बिकम प्लूरल, राइट। जैसे पुअर मीन्स गरीब, राइट, और द पुअर मीन्स काफी, कई सारे गरीब, राइट। द रिच मीन्स मेनी पीपल हु आर रिच, द यंग, द ओल्ड, द डिसेबल्ड, अगर दी आर्टिकल लगा है, in that case you would find that they become plural, right। and the same is the condition with the language also। लैंग्वेज के साथ क्या है कि अगर दी लगा है किसी लैंग्वेज के साथ, तो इसका मतलब होता है कि वहां के लोग, जैसे फ्रेंड्स, द फ्रेंड्स। अब यहाँ पे द फ्रेंड्स मीन्स वहां के लोग, इंग्लिश, द इंग्लिश, मतलब इंग्लिश इज अ लैंग्वेज बट द इंग्लिश मीन्स वहां के लोग, इंग्लैंड के लोग। The American, right? Although it's a wrong one because American is not a language. See, Russian is a language, right? And if you say the Russian, then it means people of Russia, right? So this is how you can understand. So poor, rich, young, old, disabled. If you find such kind of sentences together with the article, then they become plural, nouns. And you have to apply plural verbs with them. Here we have written the rich are. You see, the rich are. Not the rich is. The poor are. Right? Not the poor is. That means what? जब द इज लग गया, द पोर लग गया, इसका मतलब ये प्लूरल हो गया है। नेक्स्ट रूल इज हियर, all some most of half half plus countable nouns, राइट। अगर ऐसा आपको कहीं भी मिलता है तो वो प्लूरल वर्ब होगा। मतलब ये हुआ कि all some most of half half इफ यू फाइंड दीज वर्ड्स ऑफ फ्रेजेस और उसके साथ काउंटेबल नाउन आ रहे हैं जिसको आप गिन सकते हैं, तो ये दोनों को जोड़ने के बाद हमारा जो नाउन होगा वो प्लूरल बनेगा। और इसी के साथ उसमें जो वर्ब लगेगी वो भी प्लूरल होगी। लेट अस सी सम एग्जांपल्स हियर। ऑल द टाइगर्स, हियर यू सी ऑल के बाद यहाँ पे क्या आ रहा है, काउंटेबल नाउन्स, राइट। कहने का मतलब टाइगर्स जिसको आप गिन सकते हैं, तो सब जोड़ लेंगे ऑल द टाइगर्स, इसलिए आर, ये प्लूरल बन जाता है। व्हेन यू फाइंड काउंटेबल नाउन्स, जिसे आप ऑल द टाइगर तो कह नहीं सकते क्योंकि वो गलत होगा, ऑल लगा है इसका मतलब मोर देन वन, राइट। तो वहां पे जो प्लूरल नाउन आता है, ऑल के बाद का जो एक काउंटेबल नाउन आता है वो जनरली प्लूरल होता है और इसीलिए उसके साथ प्लूरल वर्ब की जरूरत पड़ती है। तो यहाँ पे ऑल द टाइगर, सम एनिमल्स, अब यहाँ पे देखिएगा सम एनिमल्स आर नॉट इज, वाई, बिकॉज सम के साथ जो आ रहा है वो प्लूरल होगा, ठीक है। सम मीन्स मोर देन वन। ऑल द मनी वॉज स्टोलन फ्रॉम द हाउस, राइट। अब यहाँ पे एक बहुत बड़ी बात ध्यान में रखनी है, इफ it is not countable, right, it is uncountable. If it is countable then plural follows, if it is uncountable the singular follows, right। यहाँ पे जैसे money, all the money, there is no counting of the money, पूरा पैसा काउंटिंग नहीं है, in that case what would happen, was लगेगा। क्यों? क्योंकि ये uncountable है। some milk uncountable है इसलिए is लगा है। कहने का मतलब all some most of some आपके बाद अगर countable nouns है तो plural, uncountable nouns है तो singular। मोस्ट ऑफ द एप्पल्स, अब यहाँ पे आपको देखना है एप्पल्स जिसे आप गिन सकते हैं तो आर लगा है। मोस्ट ऑफ द वाटर जिसे आप गिन नहीं सकते तो वेंट लगा है, हालांकि इसका तो फॉर्म ही नहीं होता तो ये वेंट दोनों में रहेगा। अबाउट हाफ ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स जिसे आप गिन सकते थे तो यहाँ पे वर लगा है। हाफ ऑफ द मिल्क जिसे आप गिन नहीं सकते थे तो वाज लगा है। तो दिस इज हाउ यू कैन काइंड ऑफ know about this thing. This is how you can kind of realize and comprehend this particular rule. Some singular nouns are repetitively used with the help of preposition. Such nouns follow singular verb, right? As I told you here. See, कभी कभी क्या होता है कि सिंगुलर नाउन होते हैं, राइट, और वो रिपीटेटिवली आते हैं विद द हेल्प ऑफ प्रीपोजिशन। ऐसी स्थिति में जो वहां पे वर्ब होती है वो सिंगुलर होती है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल हियर यू सी मैन अप टू मैन, हियर आफ्टर इज प्रीपोजिशन और मैन रिपीटेटिवली आया है इसलिए वाज लगेगा, वर नहीं लगेगा। वन मंथ आफ्टर एनदर मंथ, राइट, यहाँ पे हैज लगेगा, ठीक है। ये हैज गलत हो गया, डबल हो गया है तो इसको आप काट दीजिए। वन मंथ आफ्टर एनदर हैज पास्ड, राइट। तो यहाँ पे जब रिपीटेटिवली यूज हो इस तरह से प्रीपोजिशन का सहयोग से या प्रीपोजिशन विद द हेल्प ऑफ प्रीपोजिशन, इफ एनी नाउन एनी सिंगुलर नाउन इज रिपीटेटिवली यूज्ड, तो वैसे कंडीशन में वर्ब जो है वो सिंगुलर हो। थोड़ा सा और बचा है। एंड इफ वी हैव स्ट्रक्चर लाइक दिस, यू सी, जब आपको इस तरह से स्ट्रक्चर मिले, नाउन प्रीपोजिशन प्लस नाउन, राइट, बी यूज वर्ब अकॉर्डिंग टू द फर्स्ट नाउन। ऐसी कंडीशन में अगर आपको इस तरह से कहीं भी मिल रहा है तो हम जो वर्ब यूज करते हैं वो पहले नाउन के अकॉर्डिंग यूज करते हैं, जैसे नाउन उसके बाद प्रीपोजिशन फिर नाउन। द क्वालिटी ऑफ दीज गुड्स, एक तो ये हो गया गुड्स नाउन और दूसरा हो गया क्वालिटी। अब यहाँ पे विद द हेल्प ऑफ, यू सी, विद द हेल्प ऑफ क्या, ऑफ, राइट, ऑफ की सहायता से ये आ रहा है, क्या बोलते हैं, दोनों नाउन जुड़ के आ रहा है। द क्वालिटी ऑफ दीज goods, right, noun plus preposition plus noun. And if you find such kind of structures, then the verb would come according to the first noun. Which one is the first noun? This one, right, quality के अनुसार आएगा इसलिए is लगा है यहाँ पे, right। और again financial help from all the countries, अब यहाँ पे countries के अकॉर्डिंग नहीं लगा है, क्यों? क्योंकि मैंने आपको बताया कि जब प्रीपोजिशन की सहायता से दोनों जुड़ रहे हैं तो वैसे केस में जो पहला है उसके अकॉर्डिंग आएगा। तो फाइनेंशियल हेल्प के अकॉर्डिंग आ रहा है वाज। योर व्यूज ऑन दिस मैटर आर, अब यहाँ पे व्यूज के अकॉर्डिंग आ रहा है क्योंकि ऑन जुड़ा है इससे, ठीक है, तो पहले के अकॉर्डिंग आएगा, व्यूज के अकॉर्डिंग आ रहा है आर। And then the last rule is here with the following phrases: a number of, lots of, a lot of, plenty of, a quarter of, part of, percent of, proportion of, none of, most of, some of, majority of, much of, many of, a good deal of, a great deal of, heaps of. If you find these kind of words or these kind of rather phrases I call, right, then we use verbs according to the noun which is followed by of. ऐसी स्थिति में of के बाद जो noun आता है उसके according हम use करते हैं, right। जैसे plenty of sugar, is, right? We use verb according to the noun which is followed by आप। समझ में आ रहा है ना? यहाँ पे ऑफ के बाद जो आएगा, जैसे यहाँ पे आप देखिए प्लेंटी और शुगर, यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा इस और इस रूल में कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन दिख रहा है। द क्वालिटी ऑफ दीज गुड्स, प्लेंटी ऑफ शुगर, यहाँ पे द क्वालिटी मेन वर्ब आ रहा, मेन सब्जेक्ट आ रहा था, और यहाँ पे क्या प्लेंटी ऑफ शुगर, यहाँ पे शुगर जो है वो आ रहा है। क्यों? क्योंकि यहाँ पे आप देखिएगा नंबर ऑफ लॉट्स ऑफ, तो यहाँ पे प्लेंटी आप आ रहा है। अगर यही सिर्फ ऑफ आता, प्लेंटी ना आता इससे पहले, तो ये फिर जो इसके पहले आता उसके अकॉर्डिंग आता यहाँ पे, ठीक है? इसके पहले जो नाउन आती उसके अकॉर्डिंग यहाँ पे ये वर्ब आती, लेकिन चूंकि प्लेंटी आप है तो प्लेंटी आपके बाद जो आएगा नाउन उसके अकॉर्डिंग जो है वर्ब लगेगी। एंड देन प्लेंटी ऑफ चेयर्स है, वहां पे प्लेंटी ऑफ शुगर था तो वो अनकाउंटेबल था, इसलिए अनकाउंटेबल के अनुसार वहां पे सिंगुलर वर्ब लग गई थी। ये देखिए आप इज, और यहाँ पे ये काउंटेबल है, चेयर्स आप काउंट कर सकते हैं, इसलिए यहाँ पे हैव लगा है। प्लेंटी आपके बाद जो नाउन प्रोनाउन आता है उसके अकॉर्डिंग होता है। इसी तरह से अ लॉट ऑफ बुक्स है, तो यहाँ पे बुक्स के अकॉर्डिंग आ रहा है वर्ब, और अ लॉट ऑफ मिल्क, मिल्क अनकाउंटेबल है इसलिए वो आ जा रहा है। तो ये सारे रूल्स हैं, दीज आर ऑल द रूल्स व्हिच आई एक्जैक्टली वांटेड टू टेल यू अबाउट हाउ you can know what kind of verbs should be used with what kind of subjects, right? And how you can perceive. And I hope that you have understood well the subtleties of or the nuances of this particular part of grammar. And I also hope that you would use the verbs correctly from now onward. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you everyone.